Okay, here we go. I promise you this is the last time that I'll mention that I'm using a new microphone sound, more bass, less treble, more mid a little bit, pulling down the effects, trying to make it sound a little bit easier for your ears. I'm 57 years old, and I've been battling fear and anxiety probably for 40 years, starting around the age of 18 approximately. Just joking around, you might say that fear and anxiety and worrying were my best friends throughout my life. In fact, I used to worry so much that some of my friends would just tell me things like, "This is just who you are, Garrett," or "This is just the way you are. This is the way you're supposed to be," blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that was all bad words and bad advice, but it's okay. God had a plan for my life. God has a plan for your life. You might say that I would be a very extensive worrier, really bad worrying for 40 years. Starting a little while ago, Jesus has been whispering something to me. And that is, "Garrett, we're starting the end times now. You'll be coming home to heaven sometime soon. I want you to practice overcoming worrying, fear, and anxiety now. I want you to practice this. I want you to make a video sharing with other people some of the techniques that I'm teaching you." And that's what I want to do here. You see, children of God, we're going home to heaven soon, one way or another, whether it's a car accident, cancer, or whether it's something happening in the 7-year tribulation to murder us and kill us. We're going home to heaven soon. And the Lord wants us to come home to heaven trusting in Him. Now, where did that word trust come from? Trusting in Jesus is the exact opposite of worrying. When we worry, when we're afraid, that is the opposite of trusting God. That's the opposite of trusting His plan. That's the opposite of trusting in His promises. And He wants all of us to practice overcoming worrying by, number one, praying much more. Number two, humbling ourselves much more. Number three, to practice trusting Him. We don't want to go to heaven paralyzed in fear the way the rest of the world is right now. I have multiple loved ones who will not leave their house. And they have not left their houses since the fake, I almost said a bad word and I would be banned on YouTube. They have not left their houses in over a year and a half since you know what started back then. They're paralyzed in fear. One of the loved ones I have hires someone to shop and buy her food for her. This is the opposite of what we want to do. We want to practice during these end times to trust God more, to trust His promises more, to trust His plan for our lives more and let the worry go. Am I an expert at this? No. Am I very good at practicing not to worry? No. I'm just like you. You're just like me. Nobody is special. This is a video of encouragement to start really practicing to let the fear go, to let the anxiety go, to let the worry go. I remember I was listening to David, an old friend of mine, David Ells, about 10 years ago. And he had stated that Satan's main weapons during the end times, Satan's big guns are going to be the demons of fear and anxiety. And I heard that 10 years ago, and I tell you 10 years later now, boy, was David correct. Fear and anxiety are his big weapons he's using in the Ukraine with the stuff that happened a year and a half ago, blah, 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 all the fake, can't say the words. Fear and anxiety are Satan's big weapons that we got to overcome. And as I end this video, I'm not saying this is going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of prayer, a lot of humbling ourselves, a lot of practicing, a lot of warfare, a lot of failures, and we're going to need a lot of grace from God. Men and women, teenagers of God, as we're going home to heaven soon, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. It's all so soon. Let's go home overcoming this fear and anxiety that has plagued most of us our entire adult lives. We need to overcome this and trust in the Lord. Practice with me. I'll practice with you. Let's practice with the Lord.